Installation of any Napoleon accessory and/or appliance should be executed by a licensed, certified professional. Follow the installation steps as outlined in the product installation manual and in accordance with local codes to ensure the window and appliance operate to optimum capabilities. Ensure you have all the necessary leaflets on hand, as you will need to reference them throughout this installation. All required documents are listed on the screen now. The complete system has been designed to provide the highest level of thermal insulation practically possible and should always be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and good installation and insulation best practices. Always refer to local codes before installing to ensure the installation parameters meet all requirements. The indoor-outdoor linear kit is designed to house the fireplace inside the building on an exterior wall and not into a doghouse or a bump out. Always plan to the finished height of the appliance. When doing this, refer to worksheets and framed enclosure in the pre-installation planning section of the indoor-outdoor linear kit manual. To start this project, we must first build the rough frame of the indoor-outdoor linear kit, otherwise known as the IOLK. Step 1 will be to cut and frame the opening that the indoor-outdoor linear kit will be installed in. You will need to review sections 6 and 9 of the IOLK manual, which will provide the exact dimensions required based on the size of the appliance you're about to install. Please note the large header. A large opening in a load-bearing wall does require a significant header to disperse the load evenly. Please refer to local codes for specific requirements. Once the IOLK window has been framed, the next step will be to rough frame the base of the appliance within the structure. The height of the hearth base must be flush with the subframe sill. Once the hearth base dimensions are confirmed and it's flush with the window sill, then it must be secured in place. We recommend the fireplace base sit on the plywood subfloor to eliminate the risk of the finished floor settling. To ensure proper airflow and clearances, in this next step, we're going to install the lower panel and insulation shield. Begin by removing the existing lower panel from the fixed side of the appliance by removing the screws at the base of the fixed side. Remove the light shield from the back of the original lower panel and then locate the replacement panel. Then, ensure the light shield is installed on the lower replacement panel before installing standoffs. Install standoffs to the front of the replacement panel, and then install the replacement lower panel on the fixed side of the appliance. From the interior of the home, position the appliance onto the hearth base. At this time, you'll need to connect the venting to the appliance. To do so, you'll need to remove the front frame from both sides of the appliance. Locate the vent shields, loosen the 3 screws, and then fully extend the vent shields, and then retighten the screws. Attach venting to the appliance, and then finally, install the vent shields. Reinstall the front frame to the appliance. Then, repeat these last 2 steps on the other side of the appliance. Assemble and install all fire stops according to your vent application. It's recommended to offset the vertical venting in an effort to move the terminal up the roofline and away from the eaves. We don't recommend locating the horizontal terminal directly above the fireplace. Now we will move to the outside of the home to install the insulation shield. Bend the upper flange of the insulation shield downwards and overlap inside until the 2 holes align. Secure the bent portion using the screws provided. Install the insulation shield to the fixed side of the appliance. Please note, there is a shield extension for the LVX62 and LVX74 only. Ensure that the 2 eye bolts are secured to the insulation shield on the innermost holes. These bolts are provided to secure the window in an open position during installation and servicing. Install 2 standoffs on both sides of the fixed side of the firebox shell, and then attach the adjustable cable assembly to the eye bolts. Assemble and build the subframe within the rough frame. This will house your IOLK. Insulate and apply vapor barrier to the frame according to local code requirements. Then, place the subframe into the rough frame and ensure it's flush with the exterior of the home. And finally, finish it with the appropriate materials. Next, you'll be installing the glass guard assembly. Firstly, remove it from the crate, slide out the rails on the unit, and then install the leveling kit. Repeat on the other side of the unit. Please refer to the glass guard assembly and installation leaflet document W415-1753 for more details on installation and leveling of the glass guard assembly. At last, we're going to install the IOLK. The first step will be to place the window in the opening. You can use shims across the top corners to hold it in place. Then, center the window within the opening while shimming the window level and plumb. With the window perfectly level and plumb, open the window and attach the adjustable cable assembly to the window. Supporting the open window, adjust the cable assembly so the window can now open 90 degrees. This can be done by releasing the tension from the cable and twisting the middle. Continuing to support the window, test the glass guard assembly to ensure it can easily open past the window opening for removal and servicing. If you find that the glass guard assembly does not clear the window frame with ease, you must revisit the IOLK framing to ensure that it is level and plumb. Next, you'll be securing the IOLK to the wall. To do this, you'll drill 1/8 pilot holes through the fiberglass window frame. It is recommended that a minimum of 8 screws be used on the LVX 38 and up to 12 on the LVX 74, with each screw being driven through a shim. Next, cut down the shims in order to maintain a flush finish to the exterior wall. The window should be finished as with any other window in the structure. It will be necessary to insulate and caulk the gap between the window and the finishing material. At this stage, move inside to complete all the necessary electrical and gas connections to the appliance. This step must be performed by a qualified technician and following all applicable codes and requirements. You will now be required to secure the hearth appliance to the enclosure using the nailing flanges provided. The nailing flange must be mounted to the side of the unit and the front frame. Construct the enclosure in accordance with the installation manual, local codes, and your customer's needs. Framing requirements may change if the customer plans to mount a TV or other heavy object above the fireplace, or if they are finishing the enclosure with a heavy material. With the IOLK, you must have a dynamic heat control air outlet opening included within the enclosure on the interior of the home. Please refer to the appliance manual for dynamic heat control air outlet requirements. The final step would be to perform the fitment and adjustment of the glass guard assembly on the interior of the home. From here, the enclosure can be finished however the customer desires.